Good evening, guys. Chuck me a quick text, either the chat bar or chuck me a quick text message, and we'll make a start. I want to first and foremost thank you again. This platform's here every single Sunday, 8 p.m. and then the purpose of this is to train the minds, get ourselves ready for the big week. And tonight, what I want to look at is the 30-day playbook. We've been talking about this now for the last week. This was a document which was used at the Project 50,000 training by Halton Buggs, and something that I definitely want to make sure that we utilize and we use as a group. So if you've not got that in front of you, what I will do quickly, I will screen share my screen so you guys can see what I'm looking at. If you bear me 1 second. So this is the document, the 30-day playbook, and the purpose of this is a little bit of accountability. Obviously, we now know that we want to be maintaining and using the 4 steps, okay, and believe in the system, okay, and what they've called it now is the playbook. You know what I mean, and looking at the activities that we need to follow to make this work. And if you just take a look through this, and you want to make sure that whoever's coaching you, whoever's mentoring, whatever you want to call it, whoever you're being accountable to, making sure that you're really working this and using this effectively. And what you want to start by looking at is a current snapshot of where you're at now. So what you want to do is get yourself set for a big March. We don't want to retract or stop doing what we're doing to make February big, but we definitely want to now take a current snapshot of where we're at and take a look at what's going on here. Treat this as an accountability tool. So you want to know where you're at in terms of volume. How many personally sponsored have you got on your left and your right? Have you got your 10 customers? Okay, well, that's one thing we want to make sure. We're making sure that we've got our 10 serviceable customers. And the 30-day playbook is not for everybody. The 30-day playbook is for people who are taking the time out like tonight to want to better their business, better themselves, and better what we're doing. So if you want to go diamond or want to go sapphire, want to go ruby, whatever it might be that you're working towards, the very first and foremost, you want to make sure that you've got your 10 serviceable customers. Take a look at how many distributors you got to the Steve Martin event. And the plan wants to be what's leading up now. The plan here, this is looking at a snapshot of February. How many new business partners, okay, do you want to get started in the business in February? And obviously there we're looking at star achievers, and everyone who's on this call wants to be a star achiever. We're looking at that. That means you're personally purchasing 450 volume points per month, and you're not just purchasing those points and leaving them in the garage or storing them. You're purchasing those cases of product, okay, that 450 because your business warrants it, okay, all weekend. If you're around the Steve Martin weekend, once you're looking at what you need to build the business, your number, you want to know that. And Steve looked at that pretty much all weekend and breaking that down. If you want to write these down, number one, what's your personal consumption per month? How much are you retailing? How much are you sampling? And how much are you wholesaling? And know how much you're going to be working. And what I found, the people who are making this happen, the people who are making the rank advancements, who are making it work, a star achiever qualified on the first of the month. So write that down. That wants to be something that we look to do and really work towards that star achiever. So working through the document now, obviously you want to take then of where do you want to go in the month of March? Write those goals down, have those there. How many new distributors do you want? What's the volume goal? How many people left and right? How many more customers are you going to get? Okay. How many people on your team are going to be star achievers? Start working this out and planning your success those 5 or 6 days before the month starts. So again, what we've been seeing a lot in the group, and it's great to see and everyone can notice, is zone 1 activity. I want to quickly explain what zone 1 activity is, but that's when you're going out there and doing the correct activities to build a business. And we all looked at this, is how many samples are you going to give out per day? That is the core tool. That is the best marketing tool we've got. It's a free sample of the product and follow up correctly. So know how many people you're going to do and sample per day. We looked at as a group that for 90 days we were going to do a minimum a minimum of 2 samples per day. Write that down there, okay? How many phone invites are you going to do? That might be an invitation to a CGM. It might be an invitation to a launch call. It might be an invitation to a coffee appointment, a sit down, whatever. But how many invites are you going to make per day? Showing the plan's very important. We always look at this is how many times are you going to show the information so people can see that there's not only a great product, but there's a great business behind this as well. So how many one-on-ones are you going to do per week? How many personals, okay, on recruiting are you going to get on these launch calls? Mondays, Thursdays, these are our Tuesdays. We do launch calls pretty much all the time, but how many are you getting? How many prospects or business prospects are you getting on these calls each week, okay? How many webinars? How many times are you going to commit to training, okay? At the minute, Sunday is a great training day for us, and so you want to make sure that you're on this platform every single Sunday. And then how many CGMs per week are you doing? And obviously what we've discussed now is that if you're serious about this business, you want to take it that next level, make sure that you're doing 4 CGMs per week, okay? An hour max, okay? And what we've looked at today, and I spoke to Dave, sorry, about this, and Global CGM Day is basically on the first Saturday of a new month. We're going to look to do a unity program in terms of where we get together. And for me, I definitely want to replicate what we did on that Saturday when Steve came. That's going to be something that the leaders in this group are going to discuss moving forward over the course of the next week, and look to really have that as another platform where we can come together every single Saturday and do this. And how many launch calls per week are you going to do? So launch calls for me is you get someone started who's a 4-checker. Okay, they've got influence, they're self-starters, they're coachable, they've got a means to get started. How many launch calls per week are you going to do for these people to get those started correctly? Okay, work through this, okay? I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on this document, but what we do want to look at is making sure that you're using this document effectively, you're working with your coach, and if you've not got a coach, find one. Okay, go up until you can speak to someone who is willing to help, okay, willing to show you the correct system of doing this. And for me, that's big, and you just want to make sure that you're utilizing these coaches and making sure that you're in discussion with people who are plugged in, okay, people who are listening to the information, people who are plugged into the senior business partners like Dave Doyle, Steve Martin. Okay, we want to make sure that we get in the correct information. So I'd like that everyone's printed off, and we can look to start working through this, and we all work off this same playbook. And I just think that's a great tool moving forward to really move forward as a group. I think it just gives you that accountability, and if everyone's playing off the same playbook, it just makes perfect sense. So, but what we're going to do tonight is obviously this is the platform to play the Millionaire Mentorship Call. And if you want to I definitely recommend taking notes on this. This is by Blue Diamond, Edward Hartley, and this is basically he's touching base on what's called the red zone. He discusses the excitement of the playbook, and so I'm going to get this played. Take as many notes as you can. This is the every single Sunday where we want to be taking this information, writing it down, and then applying it all every single week, and that's the key for me. So without further ado, I'm gonna play the information now.
That's what's so beautiful about this system. Unlike so many of the companies that I've been involved with over the past couple of decades, that, the leader will say one thing that you should do, but the leader's going to go out and do something totally different. You see, that's something you really don't have to worry about here with Organo Gold. And the fact that, and I'm going to work backwards, the fact that we are in the midst of a promotion where the Seize the Moment promo, the top 300, the elite 300, the 300, these 300 who know what their profession is. You see, I already just said it, right? They're not a potter, they're not a blacksmith, they are See, that's what is so powerful, because everywhere I go, it's resonating. People are excited, and it ties exactly into what Mr. Shane Moran shared with the leaders at the Ruby Retreat. and then subsequently into Project 50,000. That the objective, see guys, the objective of this event wasn't to just have an event. It wasn't just to get together to celebrate. It was to do a number of things. And he said the objective was, number one, for belief to go up. Guys, I know because I'm hearing it, I'm seeing it, it's absolutely visible in the actions, by the actions, and even the things that I'm hearing people say, that the belief has gone so far up just because of this event. Well, the second objective was for volume to go up. And I'm going to say this kind of like with the Cheshire Cat, you know, that kind of grin on my face where, I see volume going up. Mr. Moran, check. And then the third thing was to have more fun. And let me tell you something. I saw a picture that was captured at this last week's opportunity meeting here in Atlanta. And when I saw the picture, I don't know who the photographer was, but they caught a picture of me. And I looked at the picture and I said to myself, OMG, I have way too much fun doing what I'm doing. Ladies and gentlemen, I love what I do. I not only love what I do, I love the results that come from people that are also seeing their belief go up, seeing their volume go up, having fun, doing something that's not just affecting their families, but also impacting the world. And then, of course, Mr. Bug said this, and I really got to tell you, some of you may or may not be able to handle this, but it was just right for me. And because I've got my sword in my right hand, and I've got my shield in my left hand, and if you remember the movie 300, the purpose of having the shield in your left hand, the sword in your right hand, was because the shield would protect the right side of the man to your left. And the shield of the man to your right would protect you, you see. And what he said that I really took to heart, because I understand it. If this is my profession, then extreme results leadership is absolutely necessary. You see, you may not understand what it means, extreme results leadership, but recognize this, that the standards at Organo Go are absolutely high. They've been high from the word go. They've been high since the 5 years I've been around. They'll be high. And because they are so high, that's the opportunity for those of you that are listening to this call under the sound of my voice to know that you too can become financially free. You see, it's always like what they say, if it was easy, everybody'd be doing it. But you see, it doesn't take everybody to do it. And know this, that the next 90 days, or in fact, Mr. Bug said 90 days can set you up for life. And I want each and every one of you that are listening to know that this 90-day segment and the next 90-day segment, see, the promotion is 2 90-day segments. That's what's so powerful. It's a 6-month promotion. So you're going to have to make a plan for 2 very distinct 90-day segments, okay? And no, especially because the activity that you do today will manifest within the next 90 days. See, that's what's so powerful. I'm an accountant, and I understand why corporations measure and they do their financials on a quarterly basis. They will execute and implement things and use each 30-day segment, first quarter, second quarter, third quarter, fourth quarter, to identify and determine the effectiveness, okay, of the implementation and make any necessary adjustments. And that's what's so good, because I'm going to give you some things tonight that you're going to use. I'm going to give you something that you already know. You're going to hear it because you've already been at the event. You're going to hear it again because even if you weren't there, you heard it on the live stream. And then you probably heard it on the coffee break call. You probably heard it on, any call that's being done within your leadership organization, because it's not new. You see, that's the blessing, that the congruency amongst the leadership in this company is so very different than anywhere else, because we're all speaking the same language. It's like that 300. And the amazing part about the 300 that are going to be on this Seize the Moment cruise, They'll be from different legs of business. They'll be from different countries. They'll be from different parts of, different products may be offered in different parts of the world, but it doesn't matter. You will be starting at a level playing field. So what I want to do right now is kind of jump in to the 90-day game plan, because guys, you really want to have a game plan. And you want to write out and be very, very specific about what it is that you want. I was speaking with someone just recently, and we were talking about, the fact that they had, matter of fact, I could be totally transparent. It was my daughter. And we were talking about her plan, and we set a game plan that was designed for her to implement this particular school year, okay? And it's not unlike what you may be thinking about of implementing for your own business, but we set a plan, and one of the things we did, I gave her some very specific metrics, I gave her some very specific targets, and I said, now let's go ahead and do everything that's necessary. And what was interesting is we set some goals and some rewards, because I love to put a reward system in place because we see how it works. We see how the Seize the Moment promo has really gotten people so doggone excited that it's not even funny, right? We see it. We're seeing it all around. So, but anyway, with my daughter, we had some specific targets, and just yesterday we went looking at the reward that she'll receive, and what was so interesting is because we have been looking at it from a distance. Okay, she knew about it. We had negotiated it. We talked about if this, then that. Okay, so at this level of success, here's what your reward would be. So almost like you go Sapphire and then go Ruby, and you'll be in the global bonus pool. You go Emerald, you'll probably be a six-figure earner. You go Diamond, you'll probably be in that $250,000 ring earner position. You see, all the metrics are in place, measurable and quantifiable, so that you don't have to apply any guesswork. There's no guesswork applied. You just have to go out and perform accordingly, and the rest will happen. So my daughter and I have been talking about it. But you see, it was only yesterday that we decided to now go up close and personal, meaning we went to the place where she can actually take what has been her reward and actually now touch it, taste it. And I'm speaking kind of as an example, not literally, but figuratively taste it. You see, you got to be in the environment in order to taste it. You got to be able to smell and experience with all of your senses, and that's why I use the word taste it. So we went into the environment, and she said to me, she says, "Wow, Dad, now that I've been through this, I can see more clearly how to achieve my goal." You see, that's the power of it, ladies and gentlemen, because a lot of us will talk about, oh, I want to get rich. Guys, that is not setting a definitive goal. And I want to go diamond in 90 days. And why that sounds good, it may not be quantifiable, measurable, or even attainable in that short period of time. And I'm not saying it can't be done, but we also have to look at all of the necessary activity that it takes to do it, and whether the track record, the history, the experience, the ability is there, and then be able to have the governing oversight of your leadership, your mentor, your coach, to be able to get you there. So your 90-day goal should be something that's realistic and attainable. That's why you don't sit there and say, well, I want to get rich, I want to make $1 million in the next 90 days, because it can't happen. You see, we know that people are making millions of dollars with Organo Gold. I mean, there's no question about it. We see enough people walking around with $1 million rings and multiple $1 million rings to know that it's happening. We know the network marketing industry as a fact, ladies and gentlemen. Over 96 million people around the world, and there's over $200 million of commissions payable on a daily basis throughout the industry. So there's no question that there's money to be made. There's no question that you can earn $1 million. But to sign up today and expect that in 90 days I want to make $1 million, or even $500,000, $250,000, $100,000, is probably unlikely, which is why the necessity of working with your coach and mentor comes into play. You see, we all have the mindset, and Einstein said it best. The thought process that you currently possess has gotten you to exactly where you are. So see, where you are today is measurable by your existing thought process. And I say that not to offend anyone. Let me repeat that it was Einstein who said it. I just adapted it because I knew that where I was 5 years ago, the thought process that I had is what had me where I was. You see, the thought process that I had 5 years ago was singular-minded. I was so focused on my construction company and almost celebratory of the fact that we had that 8-figure contract to build the F concourse here in Atlanta, Georgia, that there was nothing else. Almost like, the person who believes that they've hit the lotto, now they're set. Well, no, you see, that was just one thing. It was clear. We didn't realize it. It was clear that it was a limited time project. It was clear that it was a finite amount of money. It was clear that even after it was done, that there was things to be done afterwards to ensure the continuity of the success model. You see, so guys, the thought process that I had back then is so different than it is now. And thank God we were able to now get connected with Mr. David Emanitier, and at that time, Mr. Bugs. And he decided that he would not only share with Mr. Emanitier, but also share with me a new thought process. And that was why I was able to surrender my will to secure my wealth. You see, I've talked about that for so many years because it was one of the most difficult things that I've ever had to do. And guys, I'm telling you about this not because I want to really tell my story, but it was important at the time, being 20 years older than my sponsor, being 10 years older than my mentor, that something had to change. As I look at my notes, I remember, let me get my glasses here. I remember Mr. Bug saying in the Ruby Retreat, he said it very clearly. He said, for things to change, I've got to change. See, Mr. Bugs was talking about that. And he was saying that the fact that here he was, even though he is recognized as someone who had done some incredible things, okay? Incredible. I mean, come on. Holton Buggs has done some incredible things, but yet he has not yet reached the point to become the leader of 100 million people, right? He has not reached the point to yet oversee a $10 billion a year company. So in order for things to change, I've got to change. Man, that's so profound. But he also said, for things to stay the same, I've got to change. Wow. You see, that nearly knocked me out of my seat. Nobody probably noticed it, but I had to grab my handrails of my chair because I was about to fall out. Because, we sometimes think that we have arrived at a place and all of a sudden I'm good. I can coast. I can stand still. I can do what I've been doing. Well, guys, not exactly. You see, you cannot mark time. That's a little concept I learned as a forensic accountant, where we analyzed businesses that had reached the point and then abruptly turned around and gone into failure mode because you cannot mark time. You cannot tread water in your business. You must always be evolving. You must always be moving forward, okay? So guys, recognize that that's what the 90-day plan is all about, and you must use your coach and mentor. So guys, here's the deal. Einstein said it. Don't get mad at me. I'm going to pass the buck to Mr. Einstein, and I think we know he was a pretty smart guy. So when I said, I got to let go what I think, I got to surrender my will so I can secure my wealth, because it was clear to me, regardless of my age, the man who was 10 years younger than me had far exceeded my performance ever, not just in the industry of network marketing, but even from a business perspective, and I thought I was pretty accomplished. And then I looked at the man who was 20 years younger than me, and I realized, wait a minute, he too had exceeded all of my performance in the 20 plus years of being in network marketing. So for me to keep my ego, to keep my emotions, to keep my pride would have been a foolish and yet deadly mistake. See, guys, I'm hoping somebody catches this, because we often wonder, why do people not succeed because sometimes they're holding on to an emotion or an ego or an attitude of excellence based on what they have done elsewhere and or in another arena. That won't work here because I've already said extreme results leadership is a different model. I've been around 20 plus years before again. I'm going, I've never seen it before. But yet, come into it, adapt to it, and all of a sudden, yes, it works. See, I saw a movie a couple of weeks ago. A couple of days ago, actually. Yeah, and it was called American Sniper. And guys, this is network marketing. So if you go to see that movie, make sure you tell them I sent you so that they can send me my royalties. You see how funny that is? It doesn't happen that way. But I'm just going to tell you, in the movie American Sniper, I watched how the Navy SEALs, they exercised the same extreme results leadership that brought about the kind of level of performance that we can stand tall and say Navy SEALs. So when we talk about our 300, understand that each one of the 300 that you'll see, and I'm claiming my spot, so 299 of y'all, okay, I'm not trying to be arrogant. I'm just saying, I'm claiming my spot. You're going to have to take me off. I'm going to be on that boat. Okay, so 299 other spots. I'm just going to say it like it is. So the 299 of the rest of you, when you understand that we are going to be executing the extreme results leadership to make it happen, and that will frame our company for decades to come. That's what's so exciting to me. Yeah, we're just like Navy SEALs. Yeah, we're just like the Spartans. We're just like the elite of the best of the best. So when we give you the game plan, and as Mr. Shane Moran went over the 90-day game plan, it was like, wow, it's clearly laid out. So you don't have to wonder, why are my results not where it is? Don't look at the company. The company is solid. Don't look at the system. The system is perfected. Don't look at anything, the product. Don't look at the leadership, because we know those four components, the company, the leadership, the product, and the system, bar none. There is nothing out there like it. So the only other variable, and this was part of my training with forensics, is when you look and everything else checks, there's got to be one variable that you can point to, which would be the linchpin that caused the unfortunate demise of say, a particular company. So looking at the 90-day game plan, Mr. Moran broke it down clearly in and associated with the 4 steps. That it has everything to do with a daily game plan, a weekly game plan, a monthly game plan, and the quarterly, and tied to the 4. Well, actually, really, let's talk about the ways we get paid. How about if we start there and tie it into the ways we get paid? So you know that we get paid 7 ways. And the first, which is retail profit, is connected to the daily. So when I start to give you the segments and talk a little bit more about what's involved in the daily, you'll realize that that's going to keep your money flow. So hear me clearly. Hear me clearly. I want you to know. See, I'm getting excited now. I had to get up off my seat. The daily is what's designed to give you the cash flow so that you never have to worry about whether your business is operating. You see, the daily is the retail. Ladies and gentlemen, the Star Achiever program. We talk about Star Achiever not so that you can swipe your credit card and buy $400 or $500 worth of product and stockpile in the garage. No, the question you have to ask continuously, and every last one of us, if we say we're going to partake in extreme results leadership and we plan to be the 300, we have to be accountable to not only ourselves, but just like the shield is up, to the man to the left, because he's counting on you. And of course, the man on the right, you're counting on him. So we all have to understand. I was watching a video today that the president of the Direct Selling Association talked about the fact that there must always be a product or a service exchanged in a network marketing company for it to be viable. So what he was basically saying is that it is business. It is business just like any other business that exists that we partake in each and every day. So if you went into your daily lunch spot, and I don't want to call any names of what some of the options may be, but if you went into your daily lunch place and they had no product, then that would not be a place that you could frequent, because every time you go, they have no food, so then you cannot buy it, and then there'd be no retail profit. Hello? Are you with me? So whether it's your daily lunch spot, or how about this, where you service your car. Okay, you take your car in and there are no people there to service the car or no parts to put on your car, then there would be no opportunity to do business and thus create retail profit. So when we talk about the Star Achieve program, ladies and gentlemen, it is imperative that we understand that you are running a business. The IRS said you can deduct the cost of your product that you sell. So the cost, the investment on a monthly basis to be a Star Achiever gives you an immediate write-off, and that which is taxable becomes the segment or the portion above the wholesale cost, and there is your profit. So that can happen on a daily basis. Guys, we want to have a strong retail base, because there you go. Money coming in every day. Money, cash flow. That's imperative to the lifeblood of any business. The second and the third, which would be the fast start and the dual team, that would account for your weekly. Okay, and you understand the fast start, enroll people, because you've been given an incredible opportunity that you not only can have your point of distribution, your particular distributorship, but now you can also engage others to participate. I heard it said that basically you can become a sales manager or CEO of your business, sales manager of your sales organization immediately. And now you have the ability to engage and deploy other CEOs and sales managers of their own respective businesses. And because you did it, that way now you can share in their profit. That's powerful, ladies and gentlemen. That's absolutely powerful. You think about why businesses go out and acquire other businesses, is because they have already seen a track record, a history, a performance, and they say, yes, I'm going to acquire this business because I have already seen the foolproof performance ability of this company. So now my investment will be insured, because the return, the ROI, is guaranteed because they have performed. Well, guess what? Every single distributorship has the ability to earn the very same way. So it's already ensured that the performance is guaranteed, except you got to go do it. That's the weekly. The monthly is, of course, the unilevel and the matching, and, of course, the generational bonus. And quarterly, wow, global bonus pool. See, ladies and gentlemen, about 20 years ago, maybe 15, I lose track. But I was a senior tax accountant for an international company. Some of you may not know the name of the company, and I won't call it today, but there were over 700 subsidiaries within that company that I was responsible for all around the world. And the company did $7 billion in revenue. It was a major company. They did $7 billion in revenue. Guys, if you didn't know, please know that OrganoGo will perform and outperform that particular company with probably shorter period of time, and having paid out much, much more money to us, the general distributor base, than that company could ever pay out to its employees. So understand that there is power in being a global organization. Thank God for Mr. Shane Moran constantly out there making sure that we've got headway into new emerging companies. And let me just welcome our newest country. And I meant to say countries. He's out there making sure other countries are coming into the fold. Let me welcome the country, 39th country, Hong Kong. Man, let me tell you something. I am working on my Mandarin and my Cantonese. Ni hao, I am working on it right now, because years and years and years and years ago, when I made the most money I ever made in the network marketing business, I was in partnership and in business with Chinese. And when we opened in Hong Kong, oh my God. So I'm just revisiting my roots, and some of us will really capitalize on it. Some of us will not even know it happened or not even pay attention to what's going on. But ladies and gentlemen, that's the power of where the global bonus pool comes in, because all around the world, there's transactions happening because people are moving congruently, synchronized, the same way we're doing it, and that's what makes us grow. Well, let's talk about it. The daily, the zone ones. You've got to stay in zone one, which is all about sampling, retailing, sponsoring, CJMs, the coffee break call. You've got to stay in Zone 1. It's all about Zone 1 activity, guys. Zone 1 activity. The exposure, the follow-up, the getting started, it's all Zone 1. So what's Zone 1? You're getting out of your comfort zone and going and doing something. You know, it's amazing how this business has done so much. And depending on how you think, again, remember I said, your thought process, depending on how you think can determine exactly where your business ends up. I was in a board meeting, very first meeting of the brand new board, and we sat down and some people sitting across were having lunch, and they wanted to know more about my coffee business. And out of the 3 people that were in this particular dialogue with me, 2 of them didn't know anything about Organo Gold, and 1 did. But they didn't know enough because they only heard about it years ago. You see, when I said Organo Gold, and she said, "Oh yeah, I heard about that. I know all about that company." Some of us who were the potters or the blacksmiths who are going off to war but really don't have the true professional skill would have said, "Oh, okay, well, I guess you probably wouldn't be interested in what we do." No. See, because I already know she doesn't know enough, because I asked a simple question: how long has it been since you've heard about it? And do you remember who shared it with you? And she told me it had been almost 5 years. Hello? Are we not a totally different company than 5 years ago? You see, ladies and gentlemen, understand something. Someone may have had a cousin or an uncle or a brother who didn't have a skill, or may have been like that blacksmith or the whoever that is a part-time warrior. Okay, part-time. I'm talking about not even really a warrior, have no training at all, came onto Organo Gold, talked to their family, friends, blew up the opportunity, and walked away. That person then thinks they know so much, and they know nothing. It's up to you now to have the professionalism and to have the experience and practice to go into practice mode every day, Zone 1 mode, Zone 1 mode, Zone 1 mode, so that you become proficient, that you can share with these individuals who say they know everything about Organo Gold that they don't. And then find those who don't and prove, no, you can't know. Market can't be saturated. 3 people, and they didn't know, and they were all high-level individuals. And each one of them, when I mentioned the fact that I would send them coffee, they couldn't get their business cards out fast enough. But I already know that even if not a single one of those 3 of them gives me the opportunity to present to them or chooses to partner with me, they're going to give me some referrals. See, ladies and gentlemen, that's how I was able to overcome the NFL. See, I was the president of the NFL. I was the president. Matter of fact, I used to think I was the founder of the NFL. That NFL stood for No Friends Left. You see, because after 20-something years in an industry where the companies that I was with prior to Organo Gold, I was with 3 companies simultaneously. I was promoting 3 companies. Literally, I had 2 cell phones and a beeper. Okay, because depending on which phone went off would be which company they're calling about. Okay, that way it kept me on track. I mean, it sounded crazy, but it was true. Okay, it was really, really, really true. And because I had done that, and every single time, and this is going to impact somebody. I know it. Every single time that I got involved with another company, I told whoever I spoke to, this is it. This is the one. This is the one that's going to make me rich. I am absolutely convinced. You got to come with me. And it didn't work. Okay? So who do you think I'm going to call next? And tell them what? The same thing, right? You see, but guys, understand something. When I got started, I was like, this really is it. And I believed it with all my heart. My belief was so high because I watched 2 gentlemen who had proven results. You see, it wasn't about speculation. They weren't guessing. There was quantifiable, tangible, measurable results. And they said, simply, in my mind, all I needed to know was they were willing to teach me. It wasn't about they could guarantee my success, but they were willing to share. And that was one thing in the world of traditional business. People don't share. They don't share knowledge. They don't share information. They don't share success. They just say, good luck, God bless, hope you do all right. But these 2 gentlemen were willing to share. I'm in, surrender me, I'm listening to you. So guys, when you understand Zone 1 is all about being out there, sharing your product, getting contacts with people, getting referrals. That's the power. It's exposure. It's, asking the 4 questions. Of course I asked the 4 questions during conversation. Lady to the left, I wanted to know, by the way, do you drink coffee? She said, of course I do. Oh, and of course the questions, it didn't have to be robotic and very, very mechanical or very specific to how it's written. It was conversation. And the lady across from me, while I was talking, she was pulling up the Organo Gold website and turned her smartphone and said, "Here, is this it?" I said, "Well, absolutely." She was already on it. And the gentleman across, he's picking my brain because he was the owner of a franchise and he was looking for more income opportunities. So you never know. And asking the questions, okay? Knowing that you can say to someone, "I need your help." There it is. Who do you know? What? Use the tools. The tools are powerful. We've got the new Coffee That Pays, man. I'm sitting there watching the Coffee That Pays today and just kind of really taking notes again. Guys, I know what's on it, but I'm sitting there taking notes. You can take a lesson from all the diamonds when you see us at the events, and we're not sitting there just laughing and joking and smiling. We're taking notes because that's the example we're setting for you. And of course, follow up. Follow up, ladies and gentlemen. Okay? Follow up. Getting started. The 4 steps. Become a product of the product. Make a list. Book your CJMs. The 18-month commitment. It's all part of your daily activity. And you have got to become, I want to share with people that, there's something you can think about that every last one of us could get better of, and what it really is. And I don't mean to offend anyone, but let's start to take the excuses out of the equation, okay? We don't need to explain our way out of anything, because if you're not doing what you know you should be doing, there's no reason to explain it. Well, my neighborhood is tough. Oh, well, everybody in my neighborhood already knows about Organo Gold. Well, I can't get out, blah, 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 blah. No. Everybody has those excuses, but yet people are winning. So we've got to get out of that, because excuses and explanations don't bring results, okay? The Navy SEALs, the water's cold. Oh, I can't swim here for so long. Oh, I can't perform while you're spraying, hydrant water in my face. I can't do. No. You have to overcome the obstacles, because nothing that's worthwhile is going to be easy. Everybody will raise their hand. They want to be a millionaire. But are you willing to go do whatever it takes to get to that? And that's the key. So yeah, you do it daily, and the routine will become second nature to you. And when others see you doing it, it'll be an easy example to follow. And that moves into the weekly. The weekly will be conduct and support, the 4 to 6 CJMs, the leadership calls, this call. Guys, it's live right now. Yes, I am coming to you live. This is not a recording. Okay? It's a live call. It's all spontaneous. It's all, I'm getting text messages and people are, making comments and sharing things about what I'm saying. And it's spontaneous because someone may comment, I see the text, and I'm like, wow, yeah, you're getting it. Awesome. Because the more you get it, and when you're texting me, even during the call, and I'm seeing, oh, yes, everything I wanted. My objective is so that at least a handful of people get it. And when I see these text messages come in, it lets me know. So now you get what I'm giving you, and now you have it recorded. You can play it back over and over and over, because you'll never get it all in one setting. Now we move to the monthly. The monthly. We have all agreed in our leadership organization and all amongst the Diamond and from the Ruby Retreat on, that we agreed to host and support the global CJM, the event, okay? The global CJM Day event. The global CJM Day event. You've got to be making sure that you're participating. I love the fact, could you imagine if the Diamonds weren't at the events? You see, you are a future Diamond. I want you to look at yourself in a mirror. If you have a mirror nearby, or you can see yourself, maybe take a selfie right now and look at that picture and realize, and maybe you post it. Maybe that's how I'll know you're getting it. Maybe later tonight I'll see a bunch of selfies on Facebook and people will be saying, I get it. I am a future Diamond. Well, if you're a future Diamond, that means you must perform, you must behave, and you must do what the Diamonds do. Don't wait till you become a Diamond to do it. So that means you've got to be doing the things. You know the Diamonds are hosting monthly events. You know we're supporting the local events. You know we're doing everything like that, and you are just a time frame. I don't want to say a snapshot or whatever time frame. You are just on the brink of being a Diamond. So you've got to make sure that you're doing what Diamonds do. Now, the quarterly events. Okay? Look, we we know that we know the Super Saturdays that the Elite Diamonds are doing, the VIP Super Saturdays, the International Convention. Ladies and gentlemen, there is no surprise. Los Angeles in August. You must be there. If you're brand new, you must be there. If you've been here for 5 years, let me say it again, you must be there. There is no ifs, ands, or buts, because you are a future, say it with me now, I am a future diamond. See, I'm going to go on Facebook tonight. I'm going to look for those selfies. Take a selfie. I am a future diamond, because you get it. You understand it. You know who you are. You know what you've been, born and put on this earth to become. It does not yet appear what you're going to be, but if you know it and you say it, it is far better to say, I am a future diamond, than to say the excuses as to why you're not a diamond yet. Whew. Man, I'm hoping you're getting it. I'm hoping you're getting it. Because once you get this understanding that you've got to put your 90-day game plan into effect, you can't do it alone, because if you would have been able to do it alone, you'd already been there. So you've got to yield yourself to a higher a level of experience. I'm going to check my time and see how much time I got, because I got to tell another story. My baby girl today, we went driving today. Today was the day for driving. We like to drive on Sundays, and I always choose Sunday. I always choose Sunday at about 3 p.m. to go driving. And the reason, and I'm going to tell you my reason, is because it's the least amount of traffic in my neighborhood. So when I got her out there, she doesn't have to be worried about, all the buzzing and all the craziness. It's the least amount of traffic. Okay? Guys, my daughter, for whatever the reason, and we talked about it much later, when I asked her to do something that she had never done before. Usually I get out into the open road and I get her to a safe place, and I say, okay, now drive in this contained area. Drive in this very contained area. But today I didn't. I let her pull the car out of the driveway, and usually I jump in the driver's seat, she jumps over to the passenger seat, but today I jumped in the passenger seat, and I sat there, put on my seatbelt, looked at her, and she had this look of the fear of God. Man, let me tell you, she looked like I had just asked her to get in front of the weekly meeting and do the full presentation. Some of y'all know what I'm talking about. But she looked at me with the fear of God, and I said, honey, what's the matter? She said, Daddy, I'm not ready for this. And I said, well, if you're not ready, then you have to make a decision. Get ready or get out the car. Now, you see, we're talking about extreme results leadership, and I even exercise it with my children. I said, either get ready or get out the car. And she proceeded to unbuckle, put the car in park, and get out the car. Woo! Woo! I looked at her, and I'm like, really? See, what I was experiencing, guys, was, and we talked about it later, her 15-year-old mind, she's almost 16, but she had made it up in her mind that she was not yet ready to do what I asked her to do, yet leaning on my experience that I knew she was ready to do, because I had already surveyed, and I was planning to assess her ability to get from here to the corner, which there were no cars on my street. Get from here to the corner, I could tell whether you're capable or ready to make the left turn. But she had already made it up in her mind. I'm scared. I'm not ready to do this. And she bailed out. My daughter bailed out on herself. I said, baby, do you understand what that means? That means you don't have trust in me. She said, no, Daddy, I trust you. I said, no, you don't. Because you made it up in your 15-year-old mind that you're not going to trust what I'm asking you to do. You decided to do what you're going to do based on your knowledge and experience. Forget about the fact that I'm 51 years old. You're the last of my 4 children. All of them I taught them how to drive, and I did it the exact same way. But today, you're going to make the parenting decision for me. I said, well, why didn't you make the parenting decision when I took you out on Valentine's Day and took you to this exclusive restaurant that blew your mind how much your meal was? Why didn't you say, no, Daddy, I'm scared to go have dinner on the 72nd floor of this building? No, Daddy, I'm scared to have you spend 3 figures, because it was a prefix menu. Y'all know how it is on Valentine's Day. No, Daddy, I'm scared for you to take 3 figures and pay for a dinner for me. No, Daddy. I said, baby, you cannot. If you trust me like you say you do, and you know I trust you, if you trust me, then you can't pick and choose. Because you should pick and choose everything. Then don't take the good and leave the bad on the plate. And guys, that's a message for you. You see, because the leadership that we have here has been able to go forth. We've gone through the battlefield. We've gone through the landmines. We have gone over, we've stormed the beachfront so that you now have the ability to trust us. Don't pick and choose what you're going to take. I like that. Don't pick and choose what you're going to take. Take it all because you can trust it. If you truly trust me, and I said to her, I said, baby, you may not realize it, but you demonstrated by your action, or in this case, lack of action, that you truly didn't trust me. And I want you to trust me. Ladies and gentlemen, that's what your leadership is here for. That's what the 30-day playbook is all about. That's what the 30-day playbook is all about. Ladies and gentlemen, you say, I want to go diamond. You say, I want to go diamond. I'm going diamond. Okay. Give me a 30-day playbook. New distributors. 0. Rank, qualifying volume. 0. Left side personal, 0. Right side personal, 0. Serviceable customers, 1. Thank you for breaking up the monotony. Distributed last event, 1. That was you? Yes. 1. Legs of business last event. Well, 1, 1. Yeah, 1, you, and 1. And how many people showing the plan? 0, because you're not even showing a plan. How many star achievers? Well, you see, it showed up there that your monthly income goal, you want this, but it's not congruent. See, ladies and gentlemen, you have to be able to complete this so that now I know what I'm working with. You see, if you trust me, you will be truthful with me. You will let me know what you're doing, because I am that one that's on your right. It's my shield that is protecting you. It's my shield that's going to ensure that if someone's coming at you, I got you. The question is, do you believe it? I got you. Do you believe it? I got you. Do you believe it? My sword is swinging, and I got you. Do you believe it? 5 years ago, David Imonitie, and I'll be honest, I liked him like you can imagine, 20 years younger than me. I mean, the guy was great, but I didn't trust him. But Mr. Holtenberg showed me the game plan and said, the shield is there. Basically, that was the playbook. He said, the shield is there, the playbook. He said, he has the playbook. He said, I got the playbook. I got the playbook. I gave it to him. You can trust him. You can trust me. Let's go get it. Ladies and gentlemen, within a short amount of time, we were diamonds on the East Coast. Amazing. And I still didn't know how I was doing it. You see, because I didn't know. See, when you line up in the proper formation, you see, when you have the 300 standing strong and everybody comes together, and we're standing firm in our rotation and in our alignment and in our formation, there is no question when we move together, and there is no chance of any penetration because you'll only be as strong as your weakest link. Guys, I trusted the fact that I got you. Bug said, I got you. Imonitie said, I got you. So guess what? Well, while y'all got me, tell me what I got to do so I can go do it. Because I don't need to worry, don't need to think, don't need to question what you got. Just tell me what I got to do. And I believe that as long as you got me, as long as the man on my left got me, and I got him, the man on my right got me, and I got him, there is no way we can be penetrated. That was the philosophy, ladies and gentlemen. This playbook allows you, I'm so happy to see it documented, because for so long, just like with our calendars, we did it manually. I tell the leaders in our leadership organization all the time, you've got to map your business, because you cannot, and please, I'm not talking about management mode. Please don't misquote me. This is not about managing mode, but you cannot manage, meaning you cannot effectuate adjustments and or change. Okay, that's what I mean when I say manage. You cannot manage what you cannot measure. So if there is no measurable result, there is nothing that we can quantify or analyze based on measurable results, then there is no way we can effectuate a change. So if you've done nothing, it's okay. See, I tell people Abby Keola says it all the time. This is a redemption company. Forgiveness is right here. I don't care if you did nothing. The promotion allows us, no matter who. I'm talking about, there are brand new people in my organization that right this minute, I'm talking about right this minute, they have got me beat on the Seize the Moment program. You see, they got me beat right now. But you can't take away what I know. And what I'm going to teach you is what I'm going to teach you. I'm going to teach you everything I know. But you see, I believe in what I believe in, and I'm going to go out there and do it too. Just like in the movie 300. It wasn't King Leonidas sending the army out there. He was leading the charge. And guys, understand, there's going to be time where I'm going to be showing you. There's going to be times where all the diamonds are going to be showing the emeralds and the rubies and the sapphires what to do. And then they're going to go out there and do it. Because that's what it takes. And right here, if you were at 0 last month, don't dwell on the fact that you had a bunch of zeros. Acknowledge it. Don't make excuses about the bunch of zeros. Don't do it. Not necessary. Make the decision to impact and effectuate the change so that you will have a better 30-day snapshot, which is the next one. The current snapshot don't look good. My current situation ain't looking good. See, I'm going to use some colloquialism right now. The current situation ain't looking too good. However, I know who I am, I know whose I am, and I know who got me. Somebody write that down and send me that. I know who I am, I know whose I am, and I know who got me. You see, Edwin Haynes got somebody. I know he got him. I know Emmanuel Bernstein, he got somebody, and I know he got a bunch of people. Each one of these leaders, I'm calling Pastor Joe, all the guys that I was talking to, and of course Casey Nielsen on the panel, every one of them articulated the same thing. They are willing to do and are going to do because they got someone. So you know who you are, you know whose you are, and you know I got you. Then there's no argument. There's no explanation. There's no discussion. Let's go get it, because I will tell you, I'm telling you, we are the best and the brightest in the industry, and nobody can take that away. See, I've been around going on 33 years now. But I can't speak like Mr. Bugs because I didn't have 25 years of great experience. I probably was caught up on pomp and circumstance about some of the levels of achievement I had in other companies that I totally forgot to become the student that I needed to be. Thank God, and I'm going to say it again, because if you're going through some trials right now, thank God for it. I'm not trying to tell you, oh, this is a conversation about who needs to believe in God. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, thank God or thank your higher power that you went through what you went through so that you can appreciate what you're about to do. Because you will appreciate what you're about to do because of what you've been through. When you've been through that valley and you're about to go up to the mountaintop, you will appreciate it much more. And I thank God that we lost $600,000. $600,000 in a 7-month period of time, because by the time I sat with Holton Bugs, by the time I sat with David and Monetier, there was no pride, no ego, nothing left. They didn't have to ask me to pull out my wallet, pull out my pockets, and see how much cash I got, because I ain't had none. Okay, I was broke, and I didn't know they needed me. They could see through me. But the question was I willing to let go of all of that so that the legacy of my children, the legacy of my children's children and their children could be established in the cornerstone of a company known as OrganoGold. You see, ladies and gentlemen, I wear my OrganoGold with pride. I am not an undercover OrganoGold agent. No, I am proud of it. When I walk through the streets of Atlanta and they say, are you? Yeah, that's me. Mr. Coffee, that's me. You in the coffee business? See, they used to laugh at me. You in the coffee? Now, they flock to me because they know the coffee is the best that's out there. And ladies and gentlemen, I want to tell you, when you book out your calendar, doesn't matter if nobody shows up. You book out the calendar, and then you go ahead, because I got so many CJMs that I did and nobody showed up, but I still went diamond. I did so many CJMs where they weren't even qualified, didn't even have the money. I remember some of the places that I went to, and I'm saying, how am I doing a CJM here? But guess what? Still went diamond, because the activity was necessary to develop the person who I became. You see, I'm not who I used to be, and I'm not yet who I'm going to be, and I'm thankful for that. So I want to thank you guys as we wrap up this call for recognizing that it's your time. And that 300, yeah, don't look at it and say, well, I don't know if I can be one of the 300. You deserve to be one of the 300. Excuse me, the 299. Hello, 299. Somebody say 299, because I got my spot. I don't know about you. I got my spot. See, I deserve to be there. And now the work has to come. See, I'm not just going to be talking. I'm going to do the work. I'm going to do whatever it takes to be on that boat. And when you have the fortitude, when you have the determination, and you develop the skills, because right now you know who you are, you know whose you are, and you know who got you. So with that, I want to thank each and every one. I want to thank Mr. Buzz for allowing me to have this platform for just a
Great stuff, great stuff. So powerful call there from Edward Hartley. I think that the extreme results leadership really resides with what we're doing here in the UK, because obviously we've got to go out there, we've got to put forward the activity, put forward the action, because it needs to warrant results. And right now we're getting results, we're getting momentum as a group. So we just need to keep doing that, keep in zone one, keep doing that zone one activity, and really push forward there. Obviously, you mentioned there the Los Angeles trip, but as a group, what we're building towards, obviously Lyon, France. I'm going to be posting a YouTube video to the group. Get your tickets booked. We've got ours booked. We've gone with the standard tickets. So note that down. I'm going to put that in the group very shortly. But again, not going to keep you too long. Very powerful call. Again, just put that action forward. 18 months, 4 steps, daily activities. This is the key. I'm going to also be running a Star Achiever promotion for the month of March, which I will make clear the day before the first of the month. So guys, again, appreciate the time. Big month. I'm going to be hosting a launch call tomorrow at 8 p.m. So let's make the calls, get as many people on the lines as we can, where we show them the information again. So have a great Sunday. Appreciate the time.